Many of us have been told that as we cross 60, a sluggish digestion is simply an inevitable part of aging, something we must manage with store-bought laxatives or more fiber. But after years of seeing frustrated patients in my clinic, I've realized that these quick fixes often do more harm than good, acting like a loud alarm that eventually makes your system stop listening altogether. Think of your gut like a sleeping giant. If you keep shouting at it with aggressive chemicals, it eventually tunes you out and becomes lazy. I've watched too many vibrant seniors become prisoners in their own homes, declining dinner invitations, or fearing travel because they no longer trust their own bodies. This silent loss of independence isn't just uncomfortable. It is a thief of your quality of life that grows worse the longer you ignore the root cause. The good news is, your system isn't broken. It's just waiting for the right physiological signal to wake up. Today, I'll show you how to regain that control. If you've been carrying that constant weight, comment heavy below. To truly understand how to fix a problem, we must first clear away the clutter of misinformation that has been handed to us for decades. In my years of practice, I have found that the biggest obstacle to a healthy gut isn't just the aging process itself. It is the massive amount of marketing noise that surrounds the concept of colon health. You've seen the commercials. You've seen the social media ads with bright colors and bold claims. They want you to believe that your body is failing you, and that the only way to save yourself is to buy their latest detox kit or miracle supplement. Today, we are going to peel back those layers and look at what is actually happening inside your body. One of the most persistent and damaging ideas in the world of wellness is the dirty pipe metaphor. This marketing tactic is designed to make you feel as though your colon is a plumbing system made of PVC pipes. The narrative suggests that over time, waste products and toxins become caked onto the walls of your intestines, much like sludge in an old drain. They tell you that this buildup is poisoning you from the inside, causing everything from fatigue and weight gain to brain fog and chronic illness. Logically, this sounds like it makes sense. We clean our houses, we change the filters in our cars, so why wouldn't we need to scrub our colons? However, as a medical professional, I have to tell you, your body is a living, biological masterpiece, not a piece of hardware store plumbing. The idea that pounds of mucoid plaque or ancient waste are stuck to your intestinal walls is simply not supported by anatomy or physiology. When gastroenterologists perform colonoscopies, procedures I have observed and discussed with colleagues hundreds of times, they don't see sludge or crust. They see a pink, healthy, mucus-lined environment that is constantly regenerating itself. To bring some heavy-hitting scientific authority to this discussion, we only need to look at the work of Dr. Tausif Ali from the American College of Gastroenterology. Dr. Ali and his peers have spent decades studying the digestive tract, and their message is clear. The idea that the colon needs a forced cleaning is a medical myth. Your body already possesses an incredibly sophisticated, multi-layered detoxification system that has been refined over millions of years of evolution. The real detox heroes are your liver and your kidneys. Think of your liver as the body's primary chemical processing plant. Every drop of blood that leaves your stomach and intestines passes through the liver. Its job is to break down substances, neutralize toxins, and filter out waste products so they can be safely excreted. Your kidneys, on the other hand, are the ultimate water filtration system, working 24/7 to maintain the perfect balance of electrolytes and minerals while flushing out metabolic waste through your urine. They don't need a juice cleanse to do their jobs. They just need you to stay hydrated and provide them with the basic nutrients they require. So, what is the colon actually doing? Its role is misunderstood by most. It is not a stagnant trash bag where waste just sits and rots. The colon is a dynamic organ of absorption and movement. Its primary job is to reclaim water and essential minerals from the food you've digested, turning the remaining liquid waste into solid form for easy exit. It is also home to trillions of bacteria that help maintain your immune system and produce vitamins. When you try to flush or cleanse this delicate environment with aggressive methods, you aren't just getting rid of waste, you are disrupting a vital biological balance. Let's talk about the hidden risks of these forced cleanses. Because for someone over the age of 60, these risks are not just theoretical, they are dangerous. First, there is the damage to your intestinal flora, often called the microbiome. Think of your gut as a delicate garden. When you use aggressive laxative teas or high-pressure colonic hydrotherapy, it is like taking a high-pressure power washer to your flower beds. You aren't just washing away the weeds, you are uprooting the flowers, the beneficial insects, and the very soil that allows things to grow. This disruption can lead to a weakened immune system, increased inflammation, and a gut that is even more prone to bloating and gas than before you started. Even more concerning for my senior patients is the risk of electrolyte imbalance. As we age, our hearts and kidneys become more sensitive to changes in sodium, potassium, and magnesium levels. When you force a massive flush of the system, you aren't just losing waste, you are losing the electrical signals that keep your heart beating in a steady rhythm. I have seen cases where patients in their late 60s tried an aggressive detox they saw online, only to end up in the emergency room with heart palpitations or extreme dizziness because their potassium levels plummeted. Your body works hard to maintain a very narrow window of chemical balance, and forced cleanses throw a wrench into that delicate machinery. Then there is what I call the lazy intestine syndrome. This is perhaps the most tragic consequence of long-term laxative use, especially with natural stimulant laxatives like senna or cascara sagrada. People see the word natural and think safe, but these herbs work by irritating the lining of the gut to force a contraction. I often use this analogy with my patients. Imagine you have a horse that is tired and needs a rest. If you keep shouting at it and using a whip, the horse will run for a while, but eventually it will collapse from exhaustion. It won't move at all unless you whip it. Your colon is the same way. If you constantly irritate it with stimulant laxatives, the nerves in your gut become desensitized. They stop responding to the body's natural signals. Over time, your colon becomes lazy and dependent. You reach a point where you cannot have a bowel movement without the whip of a laxative. This is the exact opposite of the independence and health we are trying to achieve. Finally, I want to address a very popular trend: apple cider vinegar, ACV. I get asked about this almost every day. While ACV has some interesting properties and can be a healthy addition to a salad dressing, the idea that it cleans the colon or cures chronic constipation is simply not backed by clinical evidence. In fact, for many seniors with sensitive stomach linings or issues like acid reflux, drinking concentrated vinegar can cause significant irritation and acidity. It is not the magic bullet the internet claims it to be. Now that we have dismantled the myths, how do we move forward? The solution lies in a fundamental shift in mindset. We must stop viewing our bodies as something that needs to be conquered or forced into submission. If you are struggling with bloating, gas, and irregularity, your body isn't your enemy. It's actually a sophisticated system that is trying to communicate with you. It is telling you that the signals are getting crossed, or that it is missing a few basic requirements to do its job. My approach is built on the concept of intelligent reactivation. We aren't going to cleanse you, we are going to reawaken you. This means learning the language of your gut and working with its natural rhythms rather than against them. Instead of an act of aggression, we are going to perform an act of support. As we age, our bodies naturally slow down in various ways. The transit time of food through our system often increases, and the nerves that trigger the urge to go can become a bit quieter. This is a normal part of the aging process, but it doesn't mean you have to suffer. It simply means we need to be more intentional about the tools we give our bodies. In my protocol, there are 4 primary tools we use for intelligent reactivation: water, fiber, time, and movement. Most people hear the word water and think, I already drink enough. But intelligent reactivation isn't just about the amount of water. It's about the temperature and the timing. As I will explain in detail later, the time of day you hydrate can actually trigger a biological switch in your nervous system. We use water as a signaling molecule, not just as a fluid. Then, there is fiber. But we have to be careful here. In the American diet, we often treat fiber like a hammer. The more we have, the better. But for a 65-year-old gut, dumping a massive amount of dry fiber, like raw bran, into the system is like trying to push a dry sponge through a narrow tube. It causes more backup, more gas, and more pain. We use intelligent fiber, sources that are hydrated and gentle, acting more like a soft lubricant than a scrub brush. The third tool is time. Your gut has its own internal clock, much like your sleep-wake cycle. In younger years, you might have been able to ignore this clock without much trouble. But now, your body craves routine. By aligning our habits with the body's natural peak activity periods, specifically the morning surge, we can achieve results that no medication can match. Lastly, we have movement. This isn't about running a marathon or hitting the gym for an hour. This is about mechanical stimulation. Because the colon sits behind the abdominal wall, we can actually use gentle external movements and internal activity to physically encourage the transit of waste. It's about giving the horse a gentle pat and a clear path to walk on, rather than a whip. The philosophy of reactivation is about restoring your independence. Think about how much mental energy you spend worrying about your digestion. Think about the times you've turned down an invitation to a friend's house because you were afraid of gas or bloating, or the times you felt so heavy that you just wanted to sit in your recliner instead of going for a walk. When we move away from the aggression of the detox world and toward the support of intelligent reactivation, we are reclaiming that lost freedom. We are telling our bodies, I hear you, I understand what you need, and I am going to give you the right tools to do what you were born to do. In the next section, I am going to walk you through exactly how to use these tools, starting with the most powerful, and yet most overlooked, habit you can start tomorrow morning. We are going to stop fighting your body and start listening to it. This is how you reclaim your energy, your comfort, and your life. It's not about a cleanse, it's about a new beginning. Let's get started. Now that you have the scientific foundation and you understand the biological why behind these methods, it is time to turn that knowledge into a concrete, actionable reality. I don't want this to be just another health video you watch and forget. I want this to be the moment your daily life begins to change. For my patients, the difference between knowing and doing is where their freedom is won or lost. Therefore, I have designed what I call the 48-hour intelligent reactivation blueprint. This is a 2-day focused plan to jumpstart your digestive system and prove to you that your body is still capable of functioning beautifully. The beauty of this plan is its simplicity, but its power lies in its precision. We aren't just doing good things for your gut. We are doing them in a specific sequence to trigger a cascade of healthy biological responses. This is about re-educating your system, and like any education, it requires a clear schedule. Every great success starts with a plan, and your digestive reactivation begins the night before day one. I often tell my patients that the gut is highly sensitive to our mental state. If you go to bed stressed, your gut remains tight and immobile. So, the night before we begin, I want you to perform a small ritual of intention and preparation. First, the physical preparation. Take 4 or 5 organic prunes and place them in a clean glass. Cover them with about 6 to 8 ounces of filtered water. Place a small saucer over the top and leave it on your kitchen counter. This simple act is your contract with yourself. As you do this, I want you to take a deep breath and visualize your body working in harmony. For many seniors I work with, like a former schoolteacher named Mrs. Thompson, this act of preparation became a grounding ritual. She told me, Dr. Whitman, preparing the prunes makes me feel like I am finally taking care of myself instead of just fighting myself. By soaking these prunes overnight, you are allowing the water to extract the sorbitol and soluble fibers, creating a natural, gentle elixir that will be ready for you the moment you need it. This isn't just a snack. It's a biological tool you've preset for success. This is the day we wake up the sleeping giant. We are going to follow a specific timeline to take advantage of your body's natural morning surge. 7:00 a.m. The sacred ritual. Immediately upon waking, before you check the news, before you feed the dog, and certainly before you touch a drop of coffee, go to your kitchen. Warm up 10 to 16 ounces of water. It should be the temperature of a warm cup of tea that you can sip comfortably. Drink this water steadily. Do not chug it, but don't take an hour to finish it either. As you drink, feel the warmth traveling down into your core. You are providing the volume and the temperature needed to trigger that gastrocolic reflex we discussed. 7:15 a.m. to 7:35 a.m. The window of silence. This 20-minute wait is non-negotiable. After you finish the water, your stomach needs time to send its signal to the colon. I want you to spend this time in a state of relaxation. Do some light stretching, read something uplifting, or simply sit quietly. Do not introduce any other stimuli. No food, no supplements. We want the line between your stomach and your brain to be clear of any static. 7:35 a.m. The double ally strike. Now, return to the kitchen. First, eat those soft, rehydrated prunes. They will be plump and easy on your teeth. Then, drink the soaking water. You are now introducing the sorbitol sponge to a system that has already been warmed and signaled by the water. Immediately after, find a comfortable place to lie down for 5 minutes and perform the abdominal massage. Start at the lower right, move up, across, and down the left. You are physically guiding the process that the water and prunes have just begun. 8:15 a.m. The intelligent breakfast. Now you may eat. I recommend something that provides wet fiber, such as a bowl of warm oatmeal with berries or a yogurt with soaked chia seeds. Avoid dry toast or heavy processed cereals today. We want to maintain the lubricated state we've just created. 12:30 p.m. Midday support. After your lunch, which should ideally include a good portion of steamed vegetables, prepare your first fennel infusion. Steep the seeds for 10 minutes in hot water. This post-meal tea is your insurance policy against afternoon bloating. It ensures that any gas produced during lunch is released rather than trapped. 1:00 p.m. The peristaltic walk. Spend 15 minutes walking. It doesn't have to be a power walk. A gentle stroll around the block or even through your house is enough. The mechanical vibration of walking combined with the fennel tea helps keep the conveyor belt of your gut moving. 6:00 p.m. The evening wind down. For dinner, choose something very easy to digest. A vegetable soup or a piece of baked fish is perfect. Remember the 5 p.m. hydration rule. You've done most of your drinking already. Finish your day with one more cup of fennel tea. This will relax your gut muscles for the night, ensuring that while you sleep, your body can move waste quietly toward the exit for tomorrow morning. On the second day, we repeat the protocol exactly. Why? Because the gut thrives on consistency. 1 day is a fluke, 2 days is a pattern. By the morning of day 2, many of my patients find that the urge they've been waiting for finally arrives. And it arrives without pain, without straining, and without the emergency feeling of a chemical laxative. On day 2, I want you to be a body detective. Pay attention to the subtle signs. Is your abdomen softer to the touch? Is that balloon feeling in your upper stomach less intense? Do you feel a bit more energetic because your body isn't spending all its energy dealing with a backup? These small wins are the indicators that your system is reactivating. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to step back from the biology for a moment and talk about your life. In my clinic, I see the physical symptoms of digestive distress, but I also see the emotional toll. I see the social shrinking that happens when a person can no longer trust their body. I've met patients who stopped going to their granddaughter's soccer games because there were no accessible bathrooms. I've met couples who stopped going out to dinner because the bloating made the husband feel so miserable he could not hold a conversation. This is what I mean when I talk about the loss of independence. It starts with a sluggish gut, but it ends with a smaller, more restricted life. Imagine a morning where you wake up and you aren't immediately checking in with your stomach, to see how bad it is going to be today. Imagine going for a long walk or a drive to visit a friend, feeling light and energetic, with no brick in your stomach holding you back. This isn't a pipe dream. This is what happens when you stop fighting your body and start supporting its natural design. The vision I have for you is one of freedom. Freedom from the pharmacy aisle. Freedom from the embarrassment of gas. Freedom to eat a meal and feel nourished rather than punished. By adopting the morning water ritual and the 4 allies, you are taking the keys to your own well-being back into your own hands. You are moving from being a passive victim of aging to being an active manager of your health. I want to issue you a direct personal challenge. I am not asking you to change your entire life forever today. I am simply asking you for 48 hours. Give me 2 days of your time to try this protocol. You have nothing to lose except that feeling of heaviness, and you have an entire world of comfort to gain. Start tonight. Go into your kitchen, find those prunes, and set that glass of water on the counter. Make that commitment to yourself. You are worth the 15 minutes of preparation and the 20 minutes of morning silence. When you complete these 48 hours, I have a request. Please come back to this video and share your results in the comments. I want you to use just 1 or 2 words to describe how you feel. Did you feel lighter? Did you feel relieved? Or perhaps you felt surprised by how well it worked. By sharing your story, you aren't just talking to me. You are talking to thousands of other men and women who feel just as stuck as you did. Your comment might be the very thing that gives someone else the courage to try the method. In our doctor's office community here on YouTube, we support each other. We prove to one another that getting older doesn't have to mean feeling worse. If you found this information helpful and you appreciate this straightforward, natural approach to health, please share this video with someone you love. Maybe it's a sibling, a spouse, or a friend from church who you know has been struggling in silence. A simple, "I thought of you when I saw this," can change someone's entire week. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell. I am committed to bringing you the most honest, science-based, and respectful health advice possible. We have so much more to cover, from heart health to joint mobility, and I want to be by your side for every step of that journey. Remember, your body is an incredible, resilient machine. It has carried you through 6, 7, or 8 decades of life. It has survived challenges you never thought you'd get through. Don't give up on it now. It doesn't need to be cleansed or fixed with a hammer. It needs to be listened to with a gentle heart and a smart plan. I want you to take a deep breath, feel the possibility of a lighter tomorrow, and know that you are in control. You have the tools, you have the plan, and you have the support. Take care of your body. Listen to its whispers before they become screams, and I will see you in the next video. I'm Dr. Eric Whitman, and I am honored to be a part of your journey toward health. The single greatest risk you face isn't just a sluggish gut, but the silent daily accumulation of waste that slowly drains your energy and threatens your independence. If you've found yourself reaching for harsh laxatives or simply waiting for a better day to feel light again, please know it's not because you were careless. It is simply because the common health advice we hear every day often overlooks the basic biological signals your body is waiting for. You haven't lost control. You just haven't been given the right tools. Until now. By choosing a gentle reactivation over aggression, you are reclaiming your quality of life and proving it is never too late to start. If you're making that choice today, just comment "starting tomorrow" or "ready" below. I invite you to follow this channel, not for entertainment, but as a protective measure to stay ahead of the health warnings that often go unspoken. Our next discussion covers a silent risk, even more common than this one, something that affects your vitality long before you ever notice a symptom. I share this because I've spent too many years seeing patients who only wish they had known these small truths sooner. Please remember, this is educational and not a replacement for your own physician. If you have chronic heart, kidney, or blood sugar issues, always consult them first. Take care of your body and listen to it. This is not a rigid diet. It is a roadmap designed for the American lifestyle, simple, accessible, and grounded in the rhythm of a normal day. We are going to walk through a single day together, from the moment you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow, showing you exactly how to deploy your protective battalion for maximum effect. Your day begins at 7 a.m. While you slept, your body was in a catabolic state, meaning it was breaking down tissues for energy because you weren't eating. For a 20-year-old, this is fine. For someone over 60, this is where muscle loss can accelerate if we aren't careful. We need to flip the switch from breakdown to build as soon as possible. This is why we start with the avocado and egg foundation. I want you to have that slice of whole grain sprouted bread we discussed, the kind that provides a slow release of energy. Mash your half avocado on top. Why now? The healthy monounsaturated fats in the avocado are the precursors your body needs to produce the hormones that drive muscle growth throughout the day. But the avocado needs a partner. By adding that hard-boiled or poached egg, you are providing leucine. In geriatric nutrition, we talk about the leucine threshold. As we age, our muscles become deaf to the signal to grow. We need a larger shout of leucine, about 2.5 to 3 grams, to wake them up. An egg combined with the protein in whole grain bread gets you closer to that threshold. When you squeeze that lemon and sprinkle that pepper, you are aiding digestion and collagen support. This breakfast tells your body, the fast is over, we have the materials, start building. Around 10:30 a.m., you might feel that familiar dip in energy. In the past, you might have reached for a muffin or a piece of toast. Instead, this is when we deploy the red apple with the skin. By eating your grated apple with cinnamon now, you are performing a midday architectural checkup. The ursolic acid in the skin sends that ceasefire order we talked about, ensuring that the muscle you just started building at breakfast isn't wasted as the morning progresses. The pectin fiber in the apple also keeps your blood sugar stable, preventing the insulin spikes that lead to inflammaging. This is the bridge that carries you to lunch without a metabolic crash. It keeps your mind sharp and your muscle-building pathways open. Lunch is often where the silent thief of sarcopenia gains ground, usually because we eat something heavy in refined carbs and low in nutrients. We are going to change that. Your lunch should be a clean protein source, perhaps a grilled chicken breast or a piece of baked cod. But the secret weapon is the salad. I want you to have a generous bed of fresh spinach. Spinach is rich in nitrates, which modern research shows can improve the efficiency of the mitochondria, the power plants, inside your muscle cells. But we aren't done. I want you to toss a handful of blueberries or mixed berries directly into that salad. The tartness of the berries pairs beautifully with a light vinaigrette, but the biological reason is even better. By midday, your body has accumulated oxidative stress from your morning activities. The anthocyanins in those berries act as an elite paratrooper team, dropping into your system to neutralize free radicals and sharpen that neuromuscular connection. If you're planning to go for a walk or run errands in the afternoon, this berry-infused lunch ensures your brain and muscles are plugged in and communicating perfectly, protecting your balance. Around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., many of my patients experience what they call the afternoon slump. This is the danger zone where people sit on the recliner and don't get back up. This is when we use the banana and cocoa smoothie. Remember, this is not a milkshake. It's a high-octane recovery fuel. The frozen banana provides the clean fuel, glucose and fructose, to refill your muscle glycogen. Vitamin B6 acts as the catalyst to ensure that any protein you've eaten so far is being metabolized correctly. By adding a tablespoon of pure cocoa, you are increasing blood flow to your extremities. This smoothie gives you the second wind you need to stay active until dinner. It satisfies the sweet tooth that often plagues us in the evening, but it does so while supporting your physical strength. Dinner is about preparation for the long fast of sleep. A piece of salmon is the ideal choice here. The omega-3 fatty acids in salmon are world-class anti-inflammatories. They cool down the systemic fire that ages your muscles. Pair this with steamed broccoli, rich in sulforaphane, another muscle protector. And for dessert, a few fresh strawberries. They are low in sugar but high in vitamin C and antioxidants. This final dose of protection ensures that as you sleep, your body has the micronutrients it needs to perform nighttime maintenance on your muscle fibers. By following this roadmap, you haven't just eaten 3 meals. You have conducted a 24-hour symphony of muscle preservation. You have addressed the foundation, the architecture, the defense, and the fuel. This is how you take control of your biology. Now, I must be completely honest with you as your doctor. We have spent a lot of time talking about nutrition, and it is a massive piece of the puzzle. It is the bricks and mortar of your physical house. But there is a second half to this equation that we cannot ignore. You can have the best bricks and the finest mortar in the world, but if no one ever lives in the house, it will eventually fall into disrepair. In the world of human biology, we call this the law of motion. There is a fundamental principle that governs every cell in your body. Use it or lose it. Your body is an incredibly efficient and sometimes incredibly lazy machine. It is constantly looking for ways to save energy. Muscle tissue is expensive for your body to maintain. It requires a lot of calories, a lot of oxygen, and a lot of blood flow. When you spend your day being sedentary, sitting for long hours at the computer, watching several hours of television, or driving everywhere, you are sending a very clear sedentary message to your brain. That message is, I am no longer using these expensive muscle fibers in my legs, my core, and my arms. They are a waste of resources. Please dismantle them. And because your body is obedient, it begins the process of atrophy. It starts to foreclose on your muscle mass. No amount of avocados or apples can fully overcome a body that is being told it no longer needs to be strong. Sarcopenia loves the sedentary life. It thrives in the quiet moments on the sofa. But here is the good news, and it's the reason I'm so passionate about this. The signal is reversible. You do not need to become a marathon runner or join a high-intensity gym to change the message you are sending to your brain. You just need to create an anabolic stimulus. This is a fancy way of saying you need to remind your body that these muscles are useful and necessary. I want to introduce you to the concept of micro-movements. These are small, non-athletic actions that you can weave into your 24-hour roadmap. They don't require special clothes, and they won't make you sweat through your shirt, but they are incredibly effective at waking up the muscle-building pathways. Tomorrow morning, while you are waiting for the kettle to boil or the coffee to brew, I want you to stand at your kitchen counter. Place your hands lightly on the edge for balance. Now, simply sit your hips back as if you're going to sit in a chair, and then stand back up. Do this 10 times. This simple action recruits the type 2 muscle fibers in your thighs and glutes, the fibers most responsible for your balance and your ability to stand up from a chair. By doing this while you prepare your avocado power toast, you are combining the bricks, nutrition, with the construction order, motion. The next time you go to the store, I want you to purposely park your car at the far end of the parking lot. Walk at a brisk pace toward the entrance, fast enough that it would be a little bit difficult to hold a conversation. This short burst of activity increases your heart rate and forces your leg muscles to stabilize you on the pavement. When you carry those grocery bags back to the car, don't look at them as a chore. Look at them as functional resistance training. Those bags are the weights that tell your body, keep the arm and shoulder muscles strong. We need them for the shopping. If you're watching the news or a movie, every time a commercial comes on, stand up. Don't just sit there. Walk to the other side of the room and back. Stretch your arms toward the ceiling. This breaks the sedentary spell and tells your nervous system that you are still active and engaged. When you combine these small movements with the strategic nutrition we've discussed, you create a powerful biological synergy. The movement creates the demand, and the fruits provide the supply. Think back to John, my patient who struggled with his cast iron skillet. John didn't just start eating apples. He started doing grip squeezes with a tennis ball while he watched the evening news. He started taking the stairs one extra time a day. By combining the ursolic acid from the apple skins with the physical demand of using his hands and legs, he gave his body no choice but to get stronger. 6 months later, he wasn't just lifting the skillet. He was back in his wood shop, building a cradle for his newest grandchild. That is what is at stake here. This is not about looking fit or hitting the gym. This is about the sovereignty of your life. It is about the ability to choose where you go, what you do, and how you live. Sarcopenia wants to narrow your world until it is the size of a single room. But with these 4 fruits and these small, consistent movements, you can push back. You can keep your world wide, vibrant, and independent. You have the roadmap now. You have the 24-hour strategy, and you have the law of motion. You are no longer guessing. You are no longer a victim of just getting old. You are a person with a plan. As we close this conversation, I want to remind you that the most important step is the one you take next. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one thing from today's talk. Maybe tomorrow morning, you'll try the avocado power toast. Maybe this afternoon, you'll go buy a bag of red apples and commit to eating one with the skin. I would love to hear which of these steps you are going to take first. In the comments below, simply type one of 3 things. I'm in, if you're ready to start the 24-hour plan. Starting tomorrow, WW, if you're going to the grocery store to get your 4 warriors. Independent C, if that is your primary goal. By typing that comment, you aren't just interacting with a video, you are committing yourself. You are joining a community of people who refuse to let the silent thief win. Thank you for spending this time with me. It is an honor to be a part of your journey toward a stronger, more independent life. I am Dr. Eric Whitman. Stay strong, stay active, and I'll see you in the next one. If there is one thing I want you to carry with you after today, it is that sarcopenia is not a crisis. It is the silent, daily erosion of your physical freedom. You might have caught yourself recently, perhaps choosing the elevator for a single floor, or letting a heavy door close on its own, quietly accepting it as the natural weight of the years. It isn't because you were careless. It is simply because no one explained that this decline is a clinical condition that you can actually push back against. You still hold the keys to your own autonomy, and by making even one small change in your kitchen today, you are reclaiming a piece of your future. You are not too late. If this realization hits home for you, please just type the word strength in the comments. It is a simple way to let me know you are ready to take control. I invite you to follow this channel, not for entertainment, but as a safeguard, so you never miss these early warnings. In our next conversation, I will be discussing a risk that is even more common and often more brittle than muscle loss itself. I share these things because I have sat with far too many patients who only wish they had known all of this years earlier. I'm Dr. Eric Whitman. Stay strong.